So this is the video that I was talking to you guys about. It's called apps everyone used until they became paid. So yeah, the title, to be honest, grabbed me immediately, grabbed my attention. It's by a guy called Byte, 24,000 subscribers. I mean, I would love to say go subscribe to him, but as you can see, it's just me watching, like literally one view to the guy. So I'm sorry, Byte, if you ever see this video that I can't or I couldn't even bring you some viewers or subscribers, but I'm sure it's going to be great. And yeah, let's just see what Mr. Byte has to say about apps everyone used until they became paid. All right, let's get into it.
Remember when the best apps used to be free? Yeah, about that. First it's, here dude, take everything. Then it's, that'll be $9.99 a month.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
we're
yeah.
speedrunning apps that went from beloved to just another greedy service. And these weren't niche apps either. These were daily tools for millions of casuals and professionals. Basically anyone who loved not paying for basic features.
Okay.
These days, it's kind of hard to imagine social media without TikTok. In fact,
Yeah.
it's hard to imagine any kind of content without the short form that dominates.
Okay, now stopping on that image, please. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the thing about TikTok, dude, TikTok blew up like never in my wildest days would I have imagined that an app like TikTok would be such a pivotal part of our like pop culture. Like everything, dude, the way that it grew so fast is just crazy. Even though, to be honest, I don't use TikTok. I managed to escape the TikTok wave, but still, it holds such a massive choke on the entire pop culture norm that it's crazy. Like I've seen trends start over at TikTok and then spread across the internet. Like the way that TikTok is designed, I think takes a little bit of the best of every other social media app and just combines it together. Like for me, I'm a doom scroller, but on Instagram. Like I love to scroll reels. But from what I saw and my small experience with TikTok that I had before deleting it, dude, the algorithm is so smart over there. Like it's even smarter than on Instagram. Like for Instagram, for example, let's say you are into just one niche, like maybe you're into sports. So yeah, you'll be scrolling sports, whatnot, watching. Then the second you get something that's not sports and you just interact with it for a few seconds, maybe even click a like, or you thought, hey, that's cool, let me share it with a friend of mine, your entire algorithm and your entire scrolling experience is basically doomed. You start getting a lot of weird shit recommended to you. So yeah, in terms of algorithm, I think it has the best algorithm out there. That's TikTok. Yeah, let's go.
But TikTok's dominance isn't just about its algorithm, it's about its editor. CapCut, made by TikTok's parent company, it was
Okay,
basically
I didn't know
TikTok's
that.
twin app.
I did
Templates
not know
tuned for
that.
TikTok trends, heavy cross-promotion from the platform itself. If you wanted to make a TikTok, this was the app. Every trending dance, meme, or sped up audio clip had a ready-made template sitting there for you to use. You didn't even need editing skills. High schoolers, small businesses, even parents who barely knew how TikTok worked could suddenly push out polished videos. Best part,
That's true.
totally
That's
free.
true.
Until September 2022.
Always.
Started off in
There's always an until.
They started CapCut Pro, which had premium features. Okay, standard stuff. But then in August 2024, they killed free cloud storage, up to 1 gigabyte, gone,
Okay.
and forced users to pay. Then came the strangest change, watermarks. In some regions you could still export clean, in others the CapCut logo was stamped on your video, and eventually you had to pay to get rid of it. For everyday users, it instantly made edits look cheap. For creators,
Yeah, yeah,
worse.
dude.
Those watermarks
Having
scared
watermarks, dude. Having watermarks is death. Basically death to whatever content you're trying to push out. Like he said, it just makes it look cheap. There are so many videos that I've made along my time on social media, edits or whatever, and then maybe I wanted to add some polishing touches, whatever, before I started using Adobe, and I'd have to go onto some random website to get whatever it is that I wanted. And I'm not gonna lie, they bait you at first. They're like, yeah, here we go, we're gonna do it. No need to sign up, no need to do anything. So you're like, yeah, why not? But oh boy, there's a catch. The moment you finish it, doing whatever you want to do on the video, you want to press download, and bam, there's your watermark. Just ruins everything.
from using templates, views dropped and payouts dried up. A
Yep.
system where some had been making up to $1,000 suddenly felt kind of broken. By July 2025, a US-specific bill dropped, partly to dodge TikTok's regulatory headaches, but that opened a new can of worms. Terms of
Okay.
service, content licensing, cloud costs.
Yep.
For most apps, this is a point where the story ends with everyone left. But not here. Despite the locks and the paywalls, CapCut is actually still thriving.
And that makes sense, to be honest. That makes sense.
Because
To be honest,
late costs more than
look,
$9.90.
even the price tag aside, for $9.99. Like, I've tried CapCut before, obviously, and it wasn't just for editing TikToks and alpha male edits and whatnot. No, I've genuinely tried it as a platform to edit long form videos, whatever kind of videos you want to do. Dude, it's so easy. Like, it's much easier. Like, I feel like the learning curve is so easy on CapCut as opposed to maybe something like Adobe Premiere, maybe even DaVinci. I haven't tried DaVinci, so I can't be judging it based on anything, to be honest. But Final Cut Pro also I haven't tried. But between those two, Adobe and CapCut, yeah, I feel like CapCut is much easier. Like, so many of the features are just one click away, and bam, you got your effect, you got your subtitles, you got your overlays, whatever you want to do. So, to be honest, it makes sense for only $9.99. Yeah, I see why it didn't fall off. Yeah.
It's still the fastest, easiest to use editor for short form content. At first,
Okay.
CapCut felt like a gift, and then the locks appeared. Most of us kept that gift and learned to live with those locks. Next up, the last great free music app that wasn't piracy, Google Play Music. 2011,
Yo,
Google launched Music.
dude,
Later,
back in the day, that was the shit.
gave you a personal cloud
Yo,
copy for your
wow.
MP3s,
Yep.
up to 50,000 tracks free, anywhere,
Yep.
no strings.
I think you could also import your own music into it,
Entirely
but I'm
around
not
remove
quite sure
those
about that.
playlists. They folded that
Yep,
straight
yep, you
into
could
Play Music
import your own
as
music, I
free,
think.
ad-supported radio. Suddenly, you had curated playlists for every moment, like
Yep.
Spotify, but without the bill. By the mid-2010s, streaming was becoming the default way people listened to music. Spotify was exploding, Apple Music was finding its footing, and both were built around the same idea. Pay a monthly
Yep.
fee and get access to whatever catalogue the platform had licensed. It worked, but it also meant your library was basically rented. Cancel the subscription and the
Yeah.
music disappeared.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly a hot contested point, to be honest. We have this point so much in the gaming community with the digital games, Steam, PSN Network, and whatnot, Xbox Live. I don't know, man. It just feels weird. Like, if I buy something, if I'm paying for something, maybe not so much in the music genre, but in games in general, when I'm buying a game for $70, sometimes even 100, like FC 26. If you want to play the Ultimate Team, you have to pay $100. So if I'm putting a lot of money, putting my own money, $100 into something, why can't I own it? Like, it could just be gone in 1 second. It could disappear. So maybe that's why a lot of people lean into the piracy, let's say, for music, for video games, for even movies. And I'm a firm believer, to be honest. And if it's not yours to own, then it's not piracy. Maybe that's why we have seen a surge in piracy as of late. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole paid subscriptions. Lose it, your everything you have is gone. Yeah, let's just continue.
Google Play Music became popular because it offered something totally different. Instead of relying only on what the platform gave you, it let you build a cloud-based library out of the music you already
Yep,
own.
yep. This is what I was talking about. Yeah.
Ripped, rare live recordings from a show, or random MP3s you'd hoarded back in the LimeWire days.
Yep.
Play Music
Piracy. Oh shit, you pirated. Yeah.
50,000 tracks and stream them
Whoa,
anywhere.
that's a lot.
In an era where streaming was about platforms controlling access, Google carved out a separate lane, a service that felt like freedom, where your personal collection followed you everywhere.
It's pretty
But
dope.
hey,
It's
Google
pretty
being
dope.
Google, they couldn't let joy exist for too long. And the sign started slowly at first. In 2019, Google said that YouTube Music would be a pre-installed
Yeah,
default
yeah.
on all new Android
By the way, do you guys actually use YouTube Music?
no
To be
problem.
honest, I don't.
Then the transfer tool launched
I'm
in
mostly on
2020.
Spotify and Apple Pay,
That means you
Apple
can make
Pay
your
and Apple
uploads,
Music.
purchases,
So
playlists, and recommendation
yeah,
recordings
don't
from
really use it,
places
even though I
like
have premium.
YouTube
But
Music.
I don't know, I just
Okay,
just
fine.
kind of loyal or
We don't really
stuck with
need
the
to,
Spotify
but
and
thanks
Apple
for the
Music
offer.
because I've been using
And
them
then,
for so long.
August 2020,
So it
they
was just
got
a hassle maybe for me to
YouTube Music will
go all the
replace
way
Play
over there.
Music by December 2020. And by December, the service completely shut down. Now, this wouldn't be on the list if YouTube Music worked just as well as the old app. You know, a new UI that might be annoying, but nothing too bad, right? But the
Okay.
free locker itself died with Play Music. While YouTube Music had uploads, the old Workflow Music store was gone, and the biggest crime of them all was background play on mobile was now gone. No wonder
Wait,
Play Music threads are
can't you play can't you play music on the background? I think that's a core feature of premium. Maybe he's talking about, I don't know. To be honest, I have no experience with YouTube Music in itself. Like I said, never used it, but I think with YouTube Premium you can play anything you have in the background. It's like I use it a lot with the YouTube videos. I just have them in the background. Get out of the app, go to any other app, or just have the my phone just standing by. They still play. So I assume it should be the same thing for YouTube Music. I'm not quite sure what he meant by that, or maybe he was just talking about a free version of YouTube Music. Which, to be honest, I don't know if it exists or not. Like I said, I keep my music on Spotify and Apple Music.
still everywhere. Play Music felt like freedom. Then it vanished kinda overnight. You
Yep.
needed to buy premium to access those features. It
Okay.
wasn't the first
Okay.
time Google,
Yeah, yeah,
and
okay.
if
So there
YouTube
is a free
Music's
version.
current feedback is anything to go by, it was always primed for a disaster. It was
Yeah.
a textbook Google move. Kill a good thing, replace it with something slower, clunkier, and less free. To see other examples, in fact, we have a whole video showing Google being the thief of joy, or something like that. So go check it out.
Okay, wow.
Speaking
Hate
of
watch. You love to see it.
collapsed, Twitter. When Elon Musk bought it in 2023,
Ooh, that's a controversial one. That is a controversial one, to be honest. I don't know, man. Twitter, is it better as Twitter or X nowadays? To be honest, I don't know. I generally don't know. Like for me, I was just using it to keep up with stuff that I loved, whether it be sports, memes, shit posting, rage baiting stuff, history, whatever. So I never really felt the change. To be honest, I can't say that I felt it, but I've heard that some journalists complained a lot about whatever happened with the platform. I think there was something called, what was it called? Something newsroom or whatever, where they could multi-stream like the entire or different feeds on Twitter, which they would use to kind of like live track news. That makes sense. But for me personally, I haven't felt much change. I mean, yeah, the platform has changed to be more free speech, if you would, but I don't see it that way. It was a left leaning platform, now it's a right leaning platform. So there isn't really much change in that regard. But I don't know, let's see what he has to say about it.
the internet let out a proactive groan. What was one of the most popular social media sites was in the hand of a man who had ideas. A lot of ideas. Good
Yeah,
or
he
bad,
does.
that kind of remained to be seen. Some people thought there might be even good ideas. Well, Twitter suffered as well. Twitter turned into whatever this OnlyFans bot farming
Yeah, okay,
is
okay.
now.
That's a fair
And
point, to be
Twitter
honest.
turned into
Yeah, that's a fair point. Dude, the amount of OF girls that are being promoted. I mean, it has gotten better, to be honest, but back in the day when it first started, whoa, my God. Like, you couldn't go into any replies to any tweet without having them there. That was just crazy. Like, I don't know, you could be talking about, ooh, the war just ended. You'd probably have an OF girl trying to promote herself in the first reply. Like, that was crazy. I think it has gotten a lot better ever since. Haven't noticed them as much. Like, yeah, sure, there are corners of the Twitter sphere that are completely theirs. They just run that sphere of Twitter, but in my everyday scrolling of Twitter, to be honest, I haven't seen a lot of them. Or who knows, maybe I'm just losing my goon ability. Who knows?
Whatever this engagement farm is now. But behind the chaos, one loss hurt professionals the most. TweetDeck.
Okay, yep, this is the one that I was talking
Multi-column
about. Yep,
dashboard
yep, yep,
that
yep.
allowed people to monitor timelines, lists, search GMs. While it might not seem like anything big to most standard users, it was a huge tool used by journalists, newsrooms, social media teams for real-time coverage.
Okay.
At first, Twitter support announced a new TweetDeck and that they'd be adding it in 30 days. Users must be verified to use it, which was already a bad sign because you were getting the service from a lot of people. And then the rename begins. TweetDeck becomes X Pro, which, just
Okay.
honestly sounds stupid. X Pro was hidden behind X Premium, and X Premium is Elon Musk's paid subscription costing about $8 to $11 a month, and
Yep.
is required to unlock features like a blue check. And how many folks are paying for that?
Yeah.
Somewhere between 650 and 1.4 million.
Dude, to be honest, with the blue check mark, I don't think that was a wise decision to make it behind a paywall. Like back in the day, it had this aura, you know what I mean? Only big accounts could have the blue check. For the most part, if you saw a tweet and that handle had a blue check mark next to it, you knew it was somebody big. But nowadays, boy, you got like some of the worst takes in your life. It has a blue check mark next to it. Like, I don't know. I feel like it has lost a lot of value, to be honest, with everybody having it. It was more of a elitist thing back in the day, if that's the right word to use. I don't think it is, but now it just feels open to everybody. That is, if you can pay $8 to $11 or whatever the price is. So yeah, that's one of the things that I don't like, to be honest. That it has become so available to everybody.
Out of more than 600 million total users, we're talking less than 1%. And that was the final nail in the coffin.
Okay.
Immediately, big news outlets like the Washington Post and The Verge confirmed the cutoff. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but if you start to wonder why all of a sudden Twitter, going from Twitter to X, produced a way lower quality of independent journalism, well, now you know why. All of a sudden, it went from this place that could curate high-quality content to being stuck behind a paywall and simultaneously becoming a place that was encouraging engagement farming. And well, there you have it. And its brightest TweetDeck was the free control room for all the breaking news. Now stuck behind a paywall, and X is now more shallow and toxic than ever before. But none of these match up to the worst example. But before I tell you that, if you're enjoying the video, subscribe. You won't be surprised to know that this has happened.
Somehow come up
before,
to this video,
and
subscribe to
another
this dude.
example,
Yeah, it's a great
popular
video so
company
far.
betraying their base. In fact, let's go back to the early phases.
Don't they all do that? Every company
It was launched in 2003.
Okay,
It was the
image check.
go-to
I
interface
don't
for
know
forums,
this.
blogs, MySpace, even eBay.
MySpace, wow, that's
If you saw a
old.
little frog logo on an embedded image, that was Image Shack. At its peak, it had 28 million monthly visitors.
Whoa, damn.
In the 2000s internet, Image Shack links were everywhere. On gaming forums, tutorials, even early meme culture. That little
Okay.
frog watermark was a universal language. People trusted it the way we trust Imager or Google Drive now.
Oh wow,
But in 2013,
Just
as
that
the internet
big,
was beginning
okay.
to change and evolve into this new monster, Image Shack ended their anonymous uploads feature, meaning now you had to have an account, to upload
yeah,
pictures
okay.
onto it.
Dude,
And then just
dude, that's a terrible idea. That is a terrible idea, and unfortunately, that seems to be the way that we're going. A lot of countries now are requiring the digital ID, or they're thinking about it and whatnot. So it does seem that we're going in a path of you have to have your real name attached to your social media accounts. That's what I believe. That's the future. And to be honest, I don't like it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Like, one of the core values and foundations of the internet was anonymity. And to this day, it is somewhat. So, yeah, if you ever want to lose your audience, just do this. Have them have their legal name connected to the whatever social media they're using or website that they're using. That's a sure way to burn down your business.
2 months later, they hit the big one. It was now switched to a subscription model.
Oh,
There were no
wow.
longer free uploads. But that just
That
wasn't
explains why I never heard of it, to be
started
honest.
officially
Yeah.
purging every free account, stopping them from delivering images to external
Whoa.
sites, blogs, and forums. And in 2016,
Dude, why such an aggressive approach?
started destroying these
Wow.
accounts. Users were scrambling to recover their data before being deleted. Entire chunks of internet history, guides, tutorials, memories were erased. Losing it wasn't just losing a host, it was like someone came into your attic and torched all the family photo albums. The early web wasn't archived
Wow,
properly,
that's crazy.
so when Image Shack pulled the plug, huge swathes of cultural history disappeared forever. Speaking of things
Damn,
from
bro.
a bygone era, anyone remember the pandemic? Oh god, I don't want to think of it either.
Yeah.
Tiger King, masks and self-isolation.
Tiger King,
were the
yo.
only things that were staple of pandemic life.
Fortnite.
Everything, nearly every
Among
aspect of
Us,
life,
yeah.
work, small business, high school, colleges.
To be honest, dude, this might be a hot take, but for me, the pandemic era was amazing. One of my best eras ever. Like I'm a guy who loves to sit at home, just chill, play video games, and do whatever. Just chill at home. So imagine if that was made for everybody. Everybody had to stay at home and chill. You didn't have to work. You didn't have to do anything. Dude, 2020 was amazing for me. I was just playing video games all day, watching movies, TV shows, whatever. Might be a hot take, might be not, but for me, those days were amazing, to be honest. And I don't know, man. They were just. I look back at them fondly, to be honest. I look back at them very, very fondly. But yeah,
Even therapy, all moved online. And this is where video apps shone. And none greater than Zoom.
yeah, bro. Whoa,
The pandemic
that's like a
from
wow.
10 million users daily in 2019 to 300 million in April
Holy,
2020. It came to rule our
holy.
lives. What made it so much different and better than every other app that was available at the time was one-click joins, consistent
Yeah,
audio and video
yeah, I remember
reliability,
those.
and
I remember those.
no accounts, nothing. Just share a link and the other person can join. And because Zoom was free, it became the great equalizer. High schools used it for classes, grandparents used it for birthdays, therapists used it for sessions. Everyone from Fortune 500
Dude,
CEOs
everybody was using Zoom.
the
Everybody.
same platform. It turned into
Zoom
the
me. Yep.
Let's Zoom,
Let's Zoom. Yeah.
which is a holy grail of branding.
Yep.
For a
Yeah.
while, it felt like Zoom could have
It took over. To be honest, yeah, it took over our entire world. That was
But
amazing.
when the pandemic started to
Super
lift up,
crazy.
people started
How
going
it just
back
went
to
from an unknown company,
face-to-face
relatively,
stuff.
to I would argue the biggest company in the world back
What
then.
you could do.
That was just
Before
crazy.
2020, free accounts had an unlimited one-to-one meeting for up to 30 hours.
Whoa.
I mean, I don't know what you were doing on a video call with someone over 30 hours. That's your life.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised what people would do.
It was annoying, but we got over it. But in May 2022, they inexplicably imposed a 40-minute meeting on one-on-one. And immediately,
wow.
people started going crazy. There was a huge backlash as everyone
I mean, you could just create another account.
starting to understand what rules did Zoom exactly
Just continue your conversation or whatever you're doing on the new
40-minute limit.
account.
Slowly, they just started suggesting moving to FaceTime or Discord or
Yeah.
other different companies. And the funny part about all this is that the video meetings didn't really die with the end of the pandemic. In fact, the pandemic fundamentally changed how we interacted with each
I
other
don't know, bro.
forever. But Zoom just dropped the ball completely. Now
It's-
Microsoft Teams is the universal.
I don't think that we still use
Working
meetings,
from
Zoom
home and
meetings.
remote work is
At least
still
not as
just
much as we
viable
used to
ever.
back in the day.
And they could have had it
Maybe
all
I'm wrong.
if they were just that much less greedy. So let me know what you guys think. What other apps were absolute gems till they stopped being free? Cheers.
Okay. That was an amazing video, to be honest. Shout out to Byte. Very fun, informative, and short video. Liked all of the examples of the apps that he did, to be honest. So, shout out to Byte. Thank you so much for the amazing video, bro. And let's give it a like.